Hey, everybody. Hey. Hi, replay people. I heart you. Peekaboo. We give a moment for live people to join us. If it's your first time, welcome to the Midday Moment. I'm your host, Dr. Davina Jones. And it is my pleasure to share with you today. The Midday Moment is the place where we expect great things, y'all. Not because we ignore the questions of our day, not because we ignore the challenges of our day. We expect great things because we embrace that we are fully human and fully divine. And in our fully human selves, we got questions. And in our fully divine selves, we got answers. Yes. And so the Midday Moment is designed to help you tap into the divine. Because when you tap into your divine, you tap into the answers of your fully human selves. When you tap into the divine, you tap into your flow and your river of peace, your river of joy, your river of resolution, your river of restoration. So we support you tapping into that river. And we are not by ourselves. We are part of a larger network called Kingdom. And we have a full menu of Kingdom inspiration. So we invite you to scroll through the Facebook page. If you're on YouTube, you can come to the Facebook page and scroll through so you can see our other menu options of Kingdom inspirations that include the daily download with Dr. Pulley, Tuesday, Thursday prayer and praise with Elder Katrina Johnson Smith. Come on, y'all. It's time for the Midday Moment. Come on, OGs. It's time for the Midday Moment. It's time for the Midday Moment. Whoa, it's time. Some of you take your little work break as I do right here at the Midday Moment. I'm expecting great things. Yes, I'm expecting great things. Oh, I'm expecting great things. I'm expecting great things. All right, y'all, tell me, where are you expecting them? In my life, yeah, I'm expecting great things. In my home and on my job, I'm expecting great things. All around me, I'm expecting great things. Hi, Shepherd Mother Renee. Eyes may not see, but I choose to believe. Eyes may not see, but I choose to believe. You may not see. Hi, Brenda. I heart you, dear one. Yes, sometimes your natural eye cannot see the greatness, cannot see the great purposes being revealed to you. And so you have to trust your spiritual eyes to bring about, to see and expect the great things. All right, everybody say thank you, theme song. That's our theme song, and the OGs voted to keep that, and so we still have it, and you can pull that up on your own. That is Great Things by Priscilla Hilliard. All right, y'all, we got to jump into it. Most of us, this is a part of our lunch break. This is a part of our off the clock time. And so I desire to respect that. So my goal is to never go past 15 minutes, and sometimes we go about 20. And every now and then we have a special segment like the National Day of Prayer where we did 30 minutes. All right, so let's jump into it. We are in the midst of a new series, or a series. We started it now a little while ago. This series called It's Just That Simple. And it's based on the premise that we invite you to have this faith experience with us based on three simple things: loving God as the spirit of absolute good, learning to love yourself as an expression of that spirit of absolute good. I know you don't always act like an expression of absolute good because we're all on a journey, all right? But you come from, long before you existed in your mother's womb, you came from the energy, the intention of absolute good. And so we encourage you to learn to love yourself as that. And when you do so, then you can share this love. We can be kind and more peaceful with each other. That's the principle. So we've been looking at all of these nuances of love from our origin, God as love. All right. So today we are on page 19, and we are dealing with these two words that we've heard before: trust God. Woo, trust God. When you evolve in your love of God as love, when you evolve in understanding and being able to embrace God as the spirit of absolute good, the energy and the vibration of absolute good, you evolve in trusting the spirit of absolute good. You evolve in trusting the energy of absolute good. You evolve in trusting the light, the vibration of the spirit of absolute good. So this is a part of our evolution in this journey, this earthly experience that we are having here in the earth. Okay. And so to trust is to evolve in that love as well. I'm going to read to you just a little excerpt from the book on page 19, and I'm going to give you my little 3 Jones jewels for today. Sometimes I have 3 specific Jones jewels, and sometimes I just have a testimony. So I've got 3 quick Jones jewels today, and then we'll move forward. Here's the little part that I want to read. When we are in a crisis, let me tell y'all, I have been working through some sensitive crisis moments lately. When we are in a crisis, we do not see why God allows painful events to occur in our lives. Come on, some of you are witness. Haven't you been through, seen through, experienced very painful events? And in that moment, we just don't see. We don't see the good. We don't see why it's occurring in our lives. Later, we learn the lesson. The lesson is the unapparent good. It is the good that you have not yet discovered in that situation. It is the aha that's getting ready to come, but you hadn't discovered it. You're in the midst of discovering it. So that's why we call it a lesson. So in these situations, later, we learn the lesson, the unapparent good, and we grow to appreciate the blessing, the good that has now become apparent. That's when we I might as well get into my 3 Jones jewels. Okay. Number 1, first Jones jewel. This is very practical. The sheriff. I have a lead foot. They say I have a lead foot. When I quote unquote pledged Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, my line name was Speedy Gonzalez. And when we were going through the process, I used to have to say andale, 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 because they said I was speeding, and I tried to hit with my vehicle the DP, what we call the Dean of Pledgees or Director of Membership Intake. So anyways, if you're like me, sometimes you've been on the highway, and I try to take all my job paraphernalia off when I'm on break during my midday moment. So if you're like me, and you've been on the highway, if you're like me and you've been on the highway driving pretty fast, or wanting, we'll say that, wanting to drive fast, and there's a car in front of you, and you're mad because you got all slow cars in front of you. Come on, give me something in this comment section if that's ever happened to you. You've been mad because you're driving behind slow people. You try to get somewhere, and you're like, come on, y'all can drive faster. We got room in the speed limit. Or maybe you're like me, you say, well, at least you got 5 extra miles, like the speed limit is 70. And we've heard it's the street policy. Okay, this is not legal. Street policy says you can go at least 5 miles past the speed limit. And you're frustrated because the person in front of you is not taking advantage of the 5 miles. And then all of a sudden, what do you see? What do you see? Does anybody know? All of a sudden, what do you see on the side of the road? What do you see? The sheriff. Yeah. See, there was a lesson in being behind the slow car. There was an unapparent good being behind the slow car. And you weren't trusting the unapparent good at the time. You just try to get to where you go. And once you see that sheriff, now you see the apparent good of being behind the slow car, right? Now you see the blessing and you start saying, well, I'm saying me. Then I start saying, whew, I thank God that car was in front of me. All right. Have you all experienced that? Tell me the truth. I know I'm not I know good and well I'm not the only person that has experienced that. Thank you, Shepherd Mother. Talk back to me. All right. I know sometimes I get on here and I get to going and I'm not always intentional about saying talk back to me. All right. So at least Shepherd Mother is getting my example. That example is exactly a reference of what it means to trust God, to trust the spirit of absolute good, that energy that is working on our behalf in the universe, putting that slow car right there in front of us when we prefer to speed. So, this section of the book, of the reading, is encouraging us to grow and evolve in our love, the love that allows us to trust God, to trust the spirit of absolute good. Thank you, Brenda. You've been there. Thank you, Elaine. Yeah, okay, good. Y'all have been there. All right. So that's Jones Jewel number one. What does it mean to trust? To trust love, to trust the spirit of absolute good, even when you're in a crisis moment. It means to trust that slow car that's in front of you because a sheriff is up the road. Okay, that's Jones Jewel number one. All right, Jones Jewel number two. Now, this is going to sound very, very strange. This is going to sound very strange, but trust the pain. Trust that slow car. I said trust the sheriff is Jones Jewel number one. We'll say trust the car. Jones Jewel number one, trust the car. Jones Jewel number two, trust the pain. My therapist told me years ago, I spent a couple of years in therapy, one of the best decisions of my life. And my therapist introduced me to this concept that pain is a gift. It's very uncomfortable, but pain is a gift because pain is a part of the lesson. It is the unapparent good. It leads you on a journey of discovering, why is this pain here? Why do I feel the way I do? And that pain is a gift because it helps you to discover what is the dis-ease. Pain is an unapparent good because it is a lesson that takes you on a journey to discover the dis-ease, and therein lies the blessing, because now you discovered a dis-ease. Things come up in the family. Things come up in relationships. Things come up on the job. Things come up in conversation. And sometimes it's painful. It doesn't feel good, but it lets you know that there is a dis-ease. And that dis-ease now becomes a blessing because it brings about now a path of healing and reconciliation and restoration. Yeah, we're learning to trust these crisis moments. My former pastor, Bishop Michael S. Pitts, wrote a couple of books over 20 years ago. Wrote a book called Breaking Soul Ties. People, that's like a new phenomenon for some people. I don't know, but anyways, he wrote this book in the late 1990s, Breaking Soul Ties. I'm sure it's still available somewhere if you Google it. And another book he wrote called Don't Curse Your Crisis. I got it over there on my bookshelf. Don't curse your crisis. Don't curse your crisis. Because in these crisis moments is that car that's in front of you driving slow, and that pain that's getting ready to lead you to uncover this dis-ease that you can now give healing attention to. I'm preaching to myself. I just want y'all to know that. Okay. Jones Jewel number three. We're at 14 minutes. Got to get out of here. Jones Jewel number three. Jones Jewel number one, the car. Trust the car in front of you. Jones Jewel number two, trust the pain. Jones Jewel number three. Trust the spade. Come on, some of y'all play spades. Y'all know this. Let me tell you something. Sometimes these situations, it's like a card game where you playing spades and you trying to figure out Where are the trump cards? Let me tell you, a crisis will reveal the spade. You thought so and so was the leader. Mm-mm. Oh my goodness, it was so and so. Trust the spade. Let me give you a quick example that I gotta get at here. My favorite movie, some of y'all know my favorite movie is The Godfather. Ooh, this is the 50th anniversary to The Godfather. Because it's just full of just so many just interesting nuances about interpersonal development, communication, and so forth. And there's a line in the movie where in part one, where the Godfather is telling his son, the new Godfather, you will know the person who is setting up, who is attempting to set up the demise, because they will come to you. They will, no, actually, he said, you will know your traitor because they're going to come to you and make an arrangement for you to meet with the other bosses. There's always a spade floating around in the card game. When the spade is revealed, trust it and go ahead, not trust the spade, but anyways, when the spade is revealed, know that that is a message to you. What am I saying? Sometimes in a crisis moment, it's like a card game so that the spade can be revealed. Let the spade be revealed because it's going to teach you now. It's going to show you now what you're working with. And what you're working with is a part of your answer. It is the blessing. So the lesson, uncomfortable card games, they're uncomfortable. But the blessing is you're going to figure out who has the spade. You're going to figure out where the big joker is. Come on, spades player. You're going to figure out where the big joker is. I'm sorry if you don't play spades. If you play bidwiz or something, my apologies, okay? But you're going to figure out where the big joker is. You're going to figure out where the little joker is. You're going to figure out where the deuce is. And that is going to help you navigate the situation that you are in. All right. I got to go. I'm at 17 minutes. I love y'all. God bless you, everybody. God bless you and God be you. Time to go back. Time to go back to business with this information and with this revelation, because I don't figured out who this big joker is. I don't figure out where the spades are. Okay. Gotta go. Love y'all. God bless you and God be you.